Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Cardigan. Up here today, PlayStation Plus 2.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it, or the all new PlayStation Plus is now out in the UK and Europe. And I've had a little look through it, and I'm going to give you my first impressions, much like yesterday's video. So first of all, I'll talk about what the new PlayStation Plus does, what it is. So first of all, before with PlayStation Plus, you would pay, I think it was like £7 a month, £10 a month for PlayStation Plus, and you would get like 2-3 games a month, maybe 3. Obviously now with the PS5, and then PlayStation Now was like their version of the Game Pass. Now, Sony have decided, you know what, we're going to combine the two now, and they have 3 tiers. Obviously, the first tier is the $6.99 tier, is the basic tier, the essentials tier, which gives you obviously the normal PlayStation Plus benefits, obviously the 3 games a month, and obviously the online, discounts, all of the usual stuff. So, that's still there for those people that aren't bothered. Then you have the extra tier, which gives you a library of PS4 and PS5 games to play, depending on what console you have. Bear in mind, I'm on the PS4, so I won't really have much. I can't really tell you about the PS5 stuff too much, but I think that's a tier most people are going to go for, because PlayStation Now is intertwined with it, basically. And then you have the premium tier, which gives you access to not only what you already get, but from the previous tiers, but also access to the streaming library. You can now stream the games directly instead of downloading them, although I prefer downloading the games, less issues in the long run. And you also get access to some PlayStation Classic, the Classics library, which will have the PS3 streaming library, as well as some PS2, PS1, apparently supposedly PSP games. But, so it's $6.99, $10.99, or $13.49. Now, I've gone for the premium tier, just because I'm one of these people that like to have all of them. Although, and I'll go into this in a minute, I might downgrade just to the premium tier. But here we go. So first of all, the layout. The layout has changed now. So I was expecting it to be like, PlayStation Plus Now layout was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it was a little bit convoluted. Now, the new layout is basically the same as the store. I was actually really surprised when you go onto there, and so now you'll have on your PS4, you'll have PS Now collection. PlayStation Plus collection, instead of PlayStation Now. And then when you load it up, it will just load up the an individual thing, and then it will say it will have like browse, it will have games, it will have benefits, and then it will have like deals, stuff like that. But then when you actually go into browse, the games are all there. So you can actually search by the classics if you want to just find the PS3 game. But if you just go to browse and show all games, all of the games will be there. And it's pretty much the same layout as the PlayStation Store. I think it's a little bit better than the previous one. Because on PlayStation Now, it will just have a picture of the game, and it wouldn't tell you the name of it unless you actually clicked on it, and then it will tell you what it's for, if you can download it, if you can play it. Whereas now, when you load it up, it's just like the PlayStation Store. It will just show you the name, and then underneath it will say PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and then obviously you click on it, and then it will give you the options to either stream it or download it, depending on what it is. Personally, I think it's a much nicer layout, and also I find that it loads a lot quicker. PlayStation Now would often, have some buffering issues. Sometimes would crash quite often. So I think this new layout, they're taking just what worked from the PlayStation Store. I think the PlayStation Store it works. You know, if it works, don't if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. But I like that they've just made it into more like the PlayStation Store. So much easier to find, and the best part is obviously you can sort now, obviously by alphabetical, by genre, by console, stuff like that. I think the layout for me personally gets a 4.5 out of 10. I think it's a really it's a layout I'm very familiar with. Like I said, it might be different on the PS5, so if you're on the PS5, I do apologise. This is PS4 only that I'm talking about. But it's a layout I'm familiar with, so I don't feel like I'm losing it here, like there's something completely new to me. It's familiar and it works. Next, the game list. So honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's a great game list. Now this is launch, by the way. I think you get around about 350 PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games. Now bear in mind the PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible with, I say, 95% of PlayStation 4 games. And some of the games on here will say PS4 and PS5 version. So if the game is on the PS4, it will tell you if it's the PS5 version. For example, like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is great. So if you have the PS5, you can get the next gen version. But it's nice to know that you can have the PS4 version if you don't have a PS5. So it's not like every single PS5 game that has the PS5 and an PS4 version is only going to have the PS5 version, which is great. A majority of the game list is pretty much very similar to how PlayStation Now was. Now, there might be a few games that were added and a few games that were taken off, but it's a familiar time to me. Now, there were some great heavy hitters. There were some great Sony must-plays, of course, the Uncharted games, the Last of Us, although the second one's not on there. God of Wars, all of the God of War games are on there. Of course, Horizon Zero Dawn. The Spider-Man games are on there, which I find funny because you have Spider-Man Game of the Year edition, and Miles Morales, which I'm pretty hyped because I can check that out, and Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, Days Gone. So all of like Sony's sort of main big games, exclusives, are on there, which is great. Then obviously there's a bunch of, you know, indie games, racing games, I say Xbox games then, you know, so a bit of everything. But if you had PS Now, you're going to see a bunch of the same games that were on PS Now. But there is enough on there that's added some new games on there. As for the PS3 games, again, I have a PS3, so to be honest, I'd probably play them on there rather than stream them, just because I think streaming, even though my internet's pretty good, you know, it's not perfect when you're streaming, so I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. The PS2 games, it doesn't actually say what PS2 games are PS2 games, just be aware. PS2 games will just come up as PS4. Unless you know it's a PS2 game, it doesn't actually say PS2 game. And then when you see PS1 games, it will say PS4, PS5, and then underneath it will say PS1 emulation. Now, I haven't tested any of those emulations yet, so I can't tell you exactly how much is on there. Although, I'm going to be honest with the PS1 selection, it isn't great. Yeah, I think I've seen Tekken 2 on there, the original Resident Evil Director's Cut, which is good that they did that version of it, because that's considered to be the better version. Some of the Worms games, Toy Story 2, and maybe a few others that I maybe missed. The PS2 selection is pretty much the same as PlayStation Now, so you've got Dark Cloud, Dark Chronicle, Ape Escape, 2, Rogue Galaxy, some of those JRPGs, Red Faction, so some, you know, well-known titles. And as for PSP, I could not find any PSP games on there. That, in my opinion, I could not find any PSP games on there anyway, at least at the moment. So honestly, like I said, there's probably around about 700 games in total, which is obviously much more than the Game Pass. But it is a mix of games. So you not only, you know, I think what people like the Game Pass for is it has a lot of day one releases straight to Game Pass, whereas PlayStation Now didn't really do that. But there's enough on there. There's enough newer games that maybe came out in the last like year or two, like Guardians of the Galaxy's on there, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and those sort of games, Ghost of Tsushima, you know. So plenty of modern games, you know. And I'll be honest with you, if I've never played a game, it's new to me, you know. That's how it works for me. The game list for me gets a 3.5 out of 10, maybe a 4 out of 10. It's a decent game list. It has more than the Game Pass, but obviously it doesn't add a ton of new stuff. From say like the I'd say maybe there was probably about 40, maybe 50 new games that weren't on PlayStation Now, that were added to it. So a decent amount, but not a ton of games that were new. So if you never had PlayStation Now, then great, you know, there's a lot here for you. But if you already have PlayStation Now, you might be a little bit disappointed that there wasn't you know, a massive update to it. And then obviously, what are the benefits and the price for me? I think the price is fair, honestly. I like that they're giving you options, because obviously, I think it's great when a streaming service has one fixed price and everything inclusive, but it is nice when some streaming services and subscription services have different tiers, depending on obviously what you want. Because if you're not bothered about getting those extra games and you just want the PS Plus for the play online and those 2 games a month, and you're not really playing a ton of games, then that option's there for you. $6.99 a month isn't too bad. Now, bear in mind, you can do it yearly as well. I'm not too sure exactly the price for yearly, but I think you can do it yearly. I think it obviously just add an extra digit to it, or something like that. I don't know. The premium tier, of course, like I said, $10.99 is the same price as the Game Pass. And to be honest, you're getting roughly maybe a little bit more than what you would get on the Game Pass, the PS5 and PS4 games. So I think that's fair. And then obviously, if you want those extra stuff, you want those classics and the streaming ability, then the option's there for you. $13.49, a little bit more than the Game Pass, but still cheaper. Still, you know, it's sort of in the, you know, it's more on the expensive end of the spectrum, but it's not it's something you desperately need to have. If you have those options available, if you already have PS2s and PS3 consoles and stuff like that in your collection, or, you know, something like a modded PS3 like me, it's probably not necessarily, and I'd say recommend just stick with the extras version. But I went with the premium just for the purpose of this review. I might put it down next month, and of course you get your benefits as well. Like I said, you know, your you know, your discounts and stuff like that. So for me, the price gets another 4 out of 10. I think it's great. I think it's a decent price. I think there's enough on there for everyone to have their options. Some people might not like options. Some people prefer a fixed price. Other people like options. Me personally, I think having the options of having different prices is great. It makes it a lot easier and more easy access to some people. So overall, guys, and like I said, you know, I think it's great that you know, you can download these games and stream them, depending on how you want to do it. I won't really stream them myself, so I couldn't really tell you the quality of streaming. I can't tell you the quality of the PS1, because the PS1 emulation is new, so that's one of the new features to it. This is the first time they've really done emulation from downloading, whereas PS3 was streaming those games. It was still emulation, but it was streaming, so it might be a bit different. But I've heard mixed reviews on it, so... But honestly, the PS1 games that were on there, I already have on my modded PS3, so I'll probably just play them on there anyway, or I've played those games before, and I don't really need to go back and play them again. Overall, I think PlayStation Plus update gets a 4 out of 5. It's not perfect, but I think it's a great upgrade. I think it was a desperate upgrade that they needed for a long time. I think PlayStation Now was not like the Game Pass, where a lot of people, you know, Sony weren't really, you know, Microsoft pushed the Game Pass constantly. Oh, buy an Xbox, get a Game Pass, get a Game Pass, get Game Pass. You see adverts for it. I never seen any adverts for PlayStation Now. PlayStation Plus, maybe, but never PlayStation Now. So I think Sony have done a great job. Yes, maybe you could say they're copying Microsoft. I don't know, whatever you want to say about it. I think it's great that they've done it. You know, they're giving people more bang for their buck. I think it is perfect for people who haven't got a great collection, or people that just want to play games, don't care about collecting games, or people that have just got a PS5 or a PS4 and want to be able to play games right now without spending more money. I think it's, you know, this is why I think subscription services are great, you know, because you get all of those access right now without having to constantly keep paying every month for something different. All in all, I think it's great. Now, I don't, some improvements. I think Sony could add some more PlayStation 1, PSP and PS2 games. Again, licensing rights in all of this, you know, so it's not as easy, you know, because, you know, it's like Netflix and Amazon, you know, they've got to get the rights and stuff, not like Paramount Plus, like I said, or Disney Plus, where they own all of those companies, you know, and it's easy for them to put it on there. So it's going to be interesting to see. My biggest improvement I think they could do is add some more retro games on their PS1 and stuff. Me personally, I don't really need to have them, but I think for most people who want to pay that a bit of extra, I think you should be offering a little bit more in the classic selection. And also, I know this is going to be a pipe dream. Make the PS3 games downloadable. If you're able to do it with the PS2 and the PS1, I don't know why you can't do it with the PS3. I don't know too much about it all, but I think those are still my biggest upgrade improvements that I could say could be made. Make the PS3 games playable, downloadable, and add a couple more retro stuff. But like I said, I don't know if this is going to be like the Game Pass, where we get new games every couple of weeks, every month. Or this is just going to be it. That's it. They're not adding anything else. I can't imagine Sony doing that. I imagine they will add stuff over time, but we'll see. So all in all, I think it's you know, I'm happy with it. You know, but anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to play some more Sims 2 tonight. I started playing Sims 2. Busting out for some reason last night was it froze on me like 3 times. And every time I forgot to save it, so I was like, fuck's sake, I can't be asked to deal with this. So I went on to Sims 2, and wow, what an improvement Sims 2 is over the first two PlayStation 2 Sims games. I really enjoyed that, so I'm going to play more of that tonight, just because I started playing it, and I'm like, do you know what, I might as well stick to that and finish it now, and then move on to the PS4 again, and maybe start something on PS4. Although I will say I have wrote a list of all of the PS4, all of the games that were in on a list, and I've probably got about 250 to 300 games from that list. So I've got plenty that I'm going to play. So, you know, that's what I mean. There's plenty on there. And I finished the Looney Tunes last night. I'm so happy that I finally finished it. Still got all the special features to watch. And tonight I'm going to check out a film on Paramount Plus. I think it's called 2 Days. I think it's like 2 Days Too Late or something like that. Or 2 Days something. Can't remember what it's called. It's 2 days. 2 days in something. I can't remember. I'm going to check that out tonight and see what Paramount Plus is all about, what the streaming's like. And as always, guys, comment below and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the new PlayStation Plus. Do you think it's good? What improvements could be made? What is the first game you're going to play on it if you haven't already played it? And as always, guys, subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, The Mad Kiger, and have a nice day. Take care. Bye-bye.